What's going on, Kate? What's the latest?
Well, Bridge, I feel like we actually talked about this recently.
Oh.
I can't remember what episode or why it came up, but I was looking in my photos and I came across photos of us from almost exactly 1 year ago.
Wow.
Do you remember what we were doing?
No.
Danielle was in the photos.
Oh, no, we got way too drunk.
Yes.
Oh, no.
What? We talked about this recently. Why did we talk about this?
We did it because I was saying I'm coming to visit and I will not be going
oh my
out
God,
with
yes!
you and Danielle. It's because it was right around, so now it's all coming back to me. It was right around Danielle's birthday.
Yep.
And I just feel like, like, our family's a lot, and we just, like, consume Danielle, and I just was so excited to celebrate Danielle. And we were too excited, because then we drank all of the alcohol, like, all of it. To the point, at the end of the night, you're like, you know what we should have? Straight whiskey.
Ew! Gross.
Like,
that's disgusting.
Literally, neat. Straight, I was like, and it wasn't a shot. It was just like, let's just sit whiskey.
At a bar?
Yes, Katie, yes.
Gross.
That's when I was like, we have to call the Uber now.
I have 4 photos. Well, there's like a bunch of the same ones of us in front of the Christmas tree, which was the last one of the night, because it was literally when the bar turned the lights on. But the progression of the photos is like the first one we took, we all look really good and normal and sober, and it's great. And then the next couple ones are us like making weird faces on a sidewalk. And I couldn't even tell you what was happening.
And
then
just
the last
love
one's
it.
that's for the Christmas tree, Merry Chrysler. Merry Crisis.
But
Good
thing we're not at that state of mind, because that really hurt the next day. And I feel way better right now.
And then I have the cutest photo of Jenny, our niece Jenny, and baby Kate, like sitting next to each other the next day when we were eating dinner. And it's it's so cute.
Oh,
They're
I
the
love
cutest.
that.
Yeah. Memories.
Wow. Before we know it, those two will be out in Red Bank,
I'll be there.
Wow.
Aunt Katie will be there. Be square. Don't worry. Gotta call an Uber for me.
They'll be like, should we send Aunt Katie home? Mom, what do I do? I'm like, oh, Aunt Katie.
Be like, Mom, Aunt Katie's trying to make us take photos and burn the Christmas tree, but they're kicking us out of the bar. We gotta go.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, 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 sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color?
It was either going to be you or me. Hi, everybody. It's not
Hello.
Buddy the Elf.
No, but what is your favorite color? Send us an email.
Oh, we do want to know.
I actually, and now I'm looking at my notes, and I'm like, I could have done how the movie starts off, which is where Papa Elf goes, oh, hello, so awkwardly. But I didn't, so here we are. Welcome back, listeners.
It's just...
I'm
wow.
gonna introduce ourselves, because we are not elves, we're not at the North Pole, we're not even in New York. What are we doing with our lives, you know?
Singing loud for all to hear spreads Christmas cheer.
That was close, Bridge. Yeah.
No?
It was... You had all the words. They're there.
It's been a week, Kate. All right.
Okay.
Who are we? What are we doing here?
Right.
And why are people listening? I can't believe you guys listen. It really cracks me up. Every week we see the stats. I'm like, wow, people listen. Like a lot of you. That's amazing. I don't even know how to do that. I beg people to listen to me at work, and they're just like, go away.
Oh, God. All right. Yes. Well, listeners, we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where 2 sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
There's so many lines you could say.
Son of a nutcracker!
Son of a... I do like Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? That's a classic. I do like singing the song that I'm probably not going to keep in this cut because I sang it before, so I'll sing it now. Every time it rains, it is from heaven. Shooby dooby. Oh my god.
Have you seen these toilets? They're ginormous.
It's just so good. Bridget, what's the movie?
It is the 2003, honestly iconic Christmas movie, Elf.
20 years old. 20th anniversary. That's crazy town.
You talked about, I respect this movie for not having a sequel or an Elf 2 whatever.
Yeah.
And that is thanks to Will Ferrell. I read all about
because he's
refused.
Like, fuck that.
He goes, I think it would be so pathetic to see a man in elf tights with my age, like, pretending to be an elf. I was like, wow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I do also want to make a edit because I realized in our last episode, we were convinced we'd never done a movie with Will Ferrell. We technically did. He was in Barbie, which is one of our nostalgic happy hours listeners. So,
thank you.
But that's the only movie we've done with him.
Honestly, if we're gonna start a Will Ferrell movie, this is the best one. He made this movie, in my opinion.
Yes, for
made
sure.
It. Brought it to life. Created out of thin air. All him. It was like so perfect for his style. And I was talking about, and I know we need to do the synopsis, blah, 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 but I was talking about this with James of like, up until this point, he was doing like dumb comedies.
Yeah.
Like old school. Where he always played like an idiot.
Yeah.
But this was like a fun idiot, you know?
Yeah.
Like and he actually
wholesome idiot.
He wasn't actually an idiot. He was like pure and naive.
Just naive.
It was honest. I don't even know how they would replicate it again. But I almost wish he would.
You're gonna be very proud of me, Bridge, because I actually did research. I know.
Really?
And by research, what that means is I watched this is a series on Netflix that I believe made you watch
Movies That
before.
Made Us?
Movies That Made Us. There was an elf one. So it was like the
Take it
whole
away.
basic like okay, well I'm not gonna recant the whole episode I saw. But I will add in there's a lot of interesting things like how this came to be what it was. And I mean it's a good movie. So it's very impressive, everything that was done. But Bridget, is your synopsis? Because I did the last one, and that was a weird one. Woo!
Okay, I love that. I'm going to try something kind of funky.
Oh my god.
What is it? Okay, hold on one second.
You're going to show me a PowerPoint presentation you made?
Hold on. I have pulled up ChatGPT.
Oh, God.
And I asked it to summarize the movie Elf for me. And I'm just going to read it. What do you think?
Are we outsourcing? Is that?
I just want to know what it's like. Because, we get to do whatever we want, Caan, and maybe we're like, techie.
I'm scared of AI.
Elf is a heartwarming Christmas comedy about Buddy, a human who was raised as one of Santa's elves at the North Pole. As Buddy grows up, he discovers he's not an elf and sets off to find his real family in New York City. The movie follows his adventures as he tries to adapt to the human world, reconnect with his estranged father, and spread Christmas cheer while navigating the bustling city during the holiday season. Buddy's childlike innocence and enthusiasm for Christmas brings joy to those around him, ultimately teaching the true meaning of family love and holiday spirit.
Wow.
Should I give a thumbs up to ChatGPT for that?
Damn. Can you do that?
Thumbs up. Here, I'm gonna share my screen so you see what I'm looking at.
Here's a like for you, computer friend.
When you take over us later, here's a like.
Yeah, remember that I gave you a like.
Great job.
Remember us. Wait, can you tell?
Listen to Sisters Who've Seen It podcast.
Please listen to Sisters Who've Seen It.
Podcast and
click
promote
like, subscribe.
it to other people. Submitted feedback.
Thanks, ChatGPT. Love you.
I just wanted to change it up because I felt like, our listeners deserve that. They deserve fun, new, fresh takes. And especially ones that are computer generated. Actually, that was pretty good. The only thing I'd add that I did not like about the movie, and it was really just her hair dye, was their
Zooey Deschanel.
Zooey Deschanel.
It was rough.
His love affair. I'm like, maybe as a brunette, but as a blonde, I can't take it. I don't know why.
She needed toner. Like,
she did.
That's all she needed.
Okay, Okay, men who
Purple
listen
toner,
to this,
guys.
toner means you
What a
take out
gift
the
for
yellow,
blondes.
orange tints.
Yeah.
It means
you know what? That's
it's more
yes,
natural.
This is good. If
You need
you
to
are
listen.
dating a woman or even a man or a
Whoever
anyone,
they identify as, yes.
however they identify, if they have blonde hair, toner is a great gift. Purple shampoo, I mean,
Perfect.
you love to see it. I get every time I use purple shampoo, I get compliments. People are like, "Wow, what'd you do to your hair?"
And she sings in the
confused.
literally as she sings in the shower, she would be able to wait the appropriate 5 minutes for the
She
toner
would have
to
came
set
out looking like
Perfect.
10 out of 10. I know. Anyway.
When you suggested this movie, I don't know why I'm not in the Christmas spirit. I kind of just
Bridge, are you a Grinch?
I'm not trying to be. I just feel like my job sucks right now and things are hard and it's like hard, and it's like the thing you want to get into the Christmas spirit. So I'm trying to get presents for people. I'm trying to like get the energy going, like get baby Kate some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And this movie you kicked it off for me. So I want to give you a big thank you. Because I had my Christmas tree up. I'm going to turn my thing around so you can see it. Look, I got my fun Christmas tree.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
I got my stockings.
Oh, stockings.
I'm getting in the spirit and you helped me. Thank you.
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is to watch Elf from 2003 for all to hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get into some fun facts.
Let's do it.
The production company for Elf, which if this was a trivia question, I feel like nobody would fucking get this, was New Line Cinema. Here's some famous movies that have done New Line Cinema movies. All of Lord of the Rings, which came out.
What?
I think The Fellowship was 2003 technically, but they kind of came out after this. Before this time though, and before they had big Oscar-winning movies like that, they were mainly known for like horror movies, and so their big franchise was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wait, did you learn that they made some of the set in like horror film places?
Yeah, they made it in like a mental hospital was like where a lot of the apartment was in there and other places. Wow. And what the F. So that was very interesting. And the episode, it talks a lot about like the writer and how he wrote this story and he kept like kind of shopping it around. And then a producer who was like a new person at New Line was like, that's cool, let's do it. Like, I don't know. He's like, our studio doesn't really make things like this, but I don't really care. And we're just going to do it. And you know what? I fucking love that. Busting out of the mold, if you will. All right. A stupid mold. Okay?
Exactly.
Okay. So anyway, let's get to Papa Elf, who starts off by saying, hello.
Bob Newhart, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Thank God you're here.
I want to cry because every time before we do these movies, I pull up the cast. It's very hard to remember you want to call out the actor's name and their character name.
Yeah.
And the picture of Bob Newhart.
Oh, no.
Is so mean. It's just
on his IMDb profile?
No, just Google Elf cast because it's like him now, 90 something. Is he alive? I feel so bad not knowing this.
Let's look up.
Oh God, did he pass away?
Quick, hurry.
He's alive. He's 94.
He's alive.
He's 94. So in the movie, this is 20 years ago, and boy did he look different. But wow, this picture of him is rough. But when it starts off with that cartoon, and you're kind of like ding 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 a ling ding 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 a ling too. You're like in the Christmas spirit. You're kind of giggling, and then he comes on deadpan, serious.
Oh, hello.
He's like, "Hi, hello, I'm an elf." Yeah,
he just
I know.
Starts monologuing about elves. I was like, did I ask for this? I don't know.
I laugh so hard, and I have to give credit again to James because I make him watch some of these things with me. He's like, that's his shtick, he is the deadpan. That's always been his shtick. That he's always like, yeah, whatever. There's something about 20 years later that it still hits. So it was kind of ahead of its time, because half of the movie is Will Ferrell being so over the top, and to start off with Bob Newhart, hi, yeah, okay.
It is cute too how he, then we find out that he's Will Ferrell's character's adopted dad. Aww. So he's not just some random guy who's blah blah blah. So I'm like, that's kind of cute.
It's really cute.
Also, it is a cold open. Woo! It's great. And he just talks about elves and it's silly and funny. And then we get the title card and then we immediately get sad because we're in a sister act orphanage. Nobody's singing. Nobody's having a good time.
There's no Sister Mary Clarence.
Naked babies, alone on Christmas. It's a sad moment.
Okay, Kate, I know how babies work, right?
You
and
do.
all the cribs are up, okay? The cribs are, like, properly ready.
Yes.
Will Ferrell's baby character somehow maneuvered the crib to drop it down.
Damn.
Spider-Man down the crib.
Yep.
And then secretly crawl into Santa's sack, and he becomes an elf. What?
I guess. You know?
He deserved it.
He should have joined the circus. He could have been an acrobat or something.
The Cirque du Soleil skills of that baby. I just was like, all right, we're just, kind of starting stupid. And I know, like, because we started this podcast in the pandemic, we have this kind of air of depression, where we're like, the world sucks. Like,
sorry,
I feel
everyone.
like, I know, but I feel like we've always been like, well, shit's bad. Shit's really bad. Shit's really bad. Shit's terrible. But I thought, in 2003, and I know probably then we'd feel like shit was bad then, but I thought, it was such a, like, silly time, that people are just like, let's make a movie about an elf because why not? Like there's something really refreshing about the simplicity of this plot. It's so there's no politics, there's no drama, there's no like, oh, that didn't age well because you guys said X. It just is like the simplest, stupidest thing. I'm gonna like vote to bring back at least 1 year in the next 10 years where we just don't give a shit and we make movies like Elf and we just chill the fuck out, right?
I love that idea.
I mean, I know that a lot has to happen to fix that, but I just hope for it, okay? I hope for it. And I hope Mary Steenburgen, or how do we say her name? The mom. Steenburgen? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she's still the mom to whoever it is in that movie because that woman does not age. She's
amazing.
Stunning.
Love her in every single thing she's in.
Wow.
So happy.
Okay.
So baby goes to North Pole. The plot also is pretty quick. Like, we don't have a lot of combos. It's kind of like, well, we're clearly not going to bring that kid back anywhere. So anyway, someone will adopt him. Great, it's Papa Elf. And he's like, I'm a single guy who never learned to settle down. So I'm going to adopt this baby. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if I believe that. Maybe in elf man land, but in human land, I don't know, but sure.
Good point. But I gotta say, I don't know. I feel like the entire plot was like Buzz Lightyear, like kind of like you don't know you're not an elf. You just think like, wow, I'm tall or I'm awesome at basketball. And they show all these like montage clips and Will Ferrell is such a committed comedian, like whatever he does is so deadpan focused that it's just so funny because in my head I'm like, maybe he doesn't actually know that he's an elf.
Will Ferrell really thinks.
I really think he might think he's just this really tall elf.
Oh my God.
And I was like, this, again, as we set up our movie franchise, we have to take notes, right, Kate? And at least one film, we have to have a character that believes they're the crazy thing no one would believe they are, even though they don't fit. It works in every plot.
I'm ready.
Pixar taught us that.
I'm ready for it. We see probably the first indication that like all the other elves know what's up, but not Buddy, when Ralphie from A Christmas Story plays the elf, and I can't find his name, but that was him. That was Ralphie, the guy with the very blue eyes, the elf.
Peter Billingsley. Billingsley?
Is that
Billingsley?
That's his name? Holy
I think
moly.
so.
Wow.
Can I tell you that my husband played an extra? Like, was an extra for him. So if anyone wants to know what my husband looks like, it's him.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I feel like I'm the Jennifer Lawrence meme right now. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm not eating a spicy wing. You need to tell me. What's going on?
I have to text him the story.
What?
Wait, when were you Peter Billings? I've never told you this story?
No!
Yep, he was like his backup person for some like really stupid movie, or maybe he never even like got on.
Story?
No, I mean he would have been like 8 or something.
Oh my God, that's how old Ralphie was.
All right, we'll confirm. But when he came on again, watching with James, he's like, "That's Ralphie from A Christmas Story," because the one time that I was like his backup, I was like, "Oh my God."
James whips out his IMDb page with 1 credit on it. Oh my God.
He's like, when you guys make your movie, can I act in it? And I'm like, yes, honey.
Yeah, he's gonna be this elf character parodying Ralphie. And then he's going to wear a name tag that's his backup. Like, it's already decided. Oh, my God.
But look at his picture. Does that not kind of look like...
They do. I mean, they do.
They look alike, right? They got those eyes and the kind of like jawed.
I cannot. All right, well, Ralphie's character is named Ming Ming. I don't know what to do with that information.
Oh, wait. Sorry, he wrote me back. It was for the breakup with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. Apparently, he needed like a backup extra.
Did he get paid? What's going on?
Oh my God, I'll ask him.
Oh my God, we're going to do an expose on this.
Oh my God, Katie, remember when you were an actress for a while?
I had a headshot and a manager and everything, yeah.
I really wanted it to happen for you.
Well, then I got emo, so... Just, you know,
he was brought in to be his stand-in. I got there and they were like, you look just like him, but you're too tall. Which,
damn.
Listen, James is like under 6 foot, so like Peter Billings is small.
Well, he did play an elf, and a convincing one at that.
Wow, and that's why he's a great elf. Okay. I'm done with this side plot. I'm gonna stop. Stay focused, Kate.
Okay. All right, so Ming Ming is like, buddy, you're real behind on those Etch-a-Sketches. But don't sweat it. And then, but this is where Buddy starts to have what I would consider a common type of conversation I have with the children at work, which is where he's like, I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins. And then I have to be like, no, you're special. Let's think of special qualities. And that's what they do. Except Buddy correctly points out, it seems like everyone has the same special talents except for me.
Yep.
He's not wrong.
He
isn't. Through a weird series of events, has to now go test out Jack-in-the-Boxes or some bullshit. And then he hears elves talking about how he's not an elf. And this is where he's like, I'm not an elf, and now I'm sad.
Kate, how old is he supposed to be in this film?
Somebody said, or I made it up, that he was like 30.
In all 30 years, no one has ever talked shit in this very tiny town that he heard that he's an elf.
I guess not.
Talk about anti-bullying, you know?
They had a good run for a while.
They really killed it for a while, and then they just lost it.
Yeah. But Papa Elf is honest. And he's like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah, he was.
Baby, and, you know, your dad lives in New York, or your mom's... First of all, his mom is dead, which I don't ever remember. That
extremely casual.
I don't know. Like, it's just like, anyway, she's dead. But don't worry, because your dad is alive and well. And he's a little bitch. And so now Buddy's like, well, I'm gonna go find my dad in New York City. And Santa, who does have a working flying sleigh, just want to point out, is like, all right, deuces, Buddy, have a good walk on your route.
Christmas was not too far away.
What? Like, couldn't we carpool, guys?
30 years.
I don't know.
30 years. Dedicated etch and sketch work.
You know?
Just told him, why don't you walk it?
Was he in the elf union? Because I bet there was a clause in there. I'm just saying. It's got to be something.
Oh my God. Something. Susan Wells is his mom's name. And
Susan Wells is dead.
First of all, if I found out, one, I was adopted. Never knew. And then two, I was like, oh my God, do my parents exist? And they're like, oh, your mom's dead. I wouldn't just like move on. I'd be like, well, I kind of have some My Girl vibes. I'd be like, well.
Yeah, did I kill my mom? Who killed mom? Is my best friend going to die by bees now? Yeah. What's going to happen?
What? We never learned about Susan. I was like, wait, nope. Debop, aka Jon Favreau. Why didn't we have one moment where we learned about Susan Wells? And like, how cute would it have been if she was this like, you know, wholesome, naive, sweet woman, and like he got all his like wholesomeness from her?
That would have made a lot more sense because when we meet Buddy's real dad. But before we get there, I do want to make another reference.
Okay.
They didn't need to, but they wanted to. These stop motion little characters, Arctic Puffin, a walrus, a fucking
narwhal.
Penguin?
There's a narwhal.
And Mr. Narwhal. Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. Thanks, Mr. Narwhal.
Okay. Jon Favreau. I read this. He didn't want to do CGI. He wanted to do traditional anything.
It would be more timeless.
It is timeless.
What are we saying?
But
every episode, guys, we say this.
We do, but I don't think CGI would be better, but I felt like they went a little too kindergarten-y stop motion.
So they were supposed to be parodying, and this goes for the, like, all the elves' costumes.
Okay.
We're parodying the Rudolph movie. They have the exact same costumes. The exact same as the elves in that movie, and then, like, the weird, like, stop motion characters from that. And the episode that I watched talks all about how they were like, yeah, we'll be fine. And then, like, right before the movie was going to come out, all these, like, lawyers from Rankin and Bass, which is the animation company that made all those movies, was like, hey, you stole our shit. And then they was like, oh god, is the movie going to get canceled? But then, like, it was fine or something. I don't even know. They're like, it just got resolved and we all moved on. I was like, what? Okay.
Wow. And all he does is he's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, hops on a little ice chunk, and then he's, I don't know, off to New York City. Is it that close to the North Pole?
He literally goes on a fucking Lord of the Rings. Sorry, not sorry to reference it twice in one episode. Journey across Middle Earth.
Lord of the Rings.
In the mountains. Mines of Mordor.
Past the swirly, twirly gumdrops.
Swirly, twirly gumdrops. And then he goes through the Lincoln Tunnel. I wrote the Holland Tunnel here. This is not correct tunnel.
If I saw a human in that tunnel,
I would
call 911.
Call the police.
This person's gonna die.
So this, where he gets to New York, it is Katie's favorite song of the movie. I sang it once, I'll sing it again at some point. But it's a montage of him just like having fun in New York and running around Kooky Dukes. All these scenes were not scripted, were not actors. All the random people are literally random people. In the Lincoln Tunnel, it was literally Will Ferrell and one cameraman went in together to film that. And then, like, that's what they used.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's incredible.
So he's just, like, going around, like, taking flyers from real people, handing out flyers, and, like, spinning in, like, a turnstile, like, crazy. And
the authenticity.
So cool. I know.
You know, it's kind of funny because it's like, I guess how would they set that up? Like, okay, people walking the streets, these streets are blocked. It's like, that's actually pretty annoying. So they just have to get releases from people that are on film?
I guess they didn't talk about that part, but I'm assuming something had to happen. And even the one guy who he was like, Santa! And it was like just some man. They were like, that was a real man. That was just some guy. That was just opportunity. It's like, what the hell? Could you imagine?
Will Ferrell made this movie. He was like, so committed to, I don't know, just this kind of essence of somebody who has never really dealt with, like, kind of, I don't know, just like harsh realities of life, you know?
New
like,
York City.
Yeah, or just this, like, so naive, encapsulated into one person. His outfit was stupid, I have to say. Like looking back on it, I'm like, why are we, like, the way the coat was, literally, you could see his peen. I didn't love it.
Ooh.
I hated it.
Woof. It is a children's movie.
I mean, I'm just like, it's cold. I hate it, you know?
Yeah, gross. I do know. Well, after he has this fun song montage, shoopy doopy, macaroni, he goes to the Empire State Building, which apparently houses a children's book company.
Kate.
Who knew? I don't know.
Kate, whenever you travel anywhere, since I know maps and stuff is hard, I'm just going to give you a snow globe, and I want you to follow the pictures on the snow globe like Will Ferrell found the Empire State Building.
Bridget's like, this is where I'm staying. Find it out through the snow globe. Like, Jesus. All right, so this is where his dad works. His dad is named
James
Walter Hobbs. It is played by James Caan. Rest in peace. He
Godfather
passed.
James Caan. I mean, what a character for this. We as in James and I felt like he was a little intense for this movie.
Who did he remind you of?
Is it our brother Jimmy?
Here's the kicker.
That's our brother Jimmy.
Another reference. Take a sip. We love our brother Jimmy, but, you know, he can be intense, and I think I'd be scared to work with him, honestly.
Oh, God. Can you imagine?
In the fucking Netflix episode, all the people were talking about how, like, wow, and we got James Caan, like, he's, like, a really established actor. He's a crazy guy, but he didn't have a great reputation behind the scenes working with people, so we were all a little nervous, and the first day he came on set, he said out loud to everyone, I know y'all have heard stuff about me, but I'm gonna tell you right now that moving forward, you're gonna call me Jimmy the Dream. That's my name. So if anyone asks how it was working with me, you're going to say it was a dream. Jimmy the Dream. And I was like, wait, is that our brother? Hold on. Something's happening.
Wow. Wait, did people say he was great or terrible?
But he apparently was, like, intense and got annoyed with Will Ferrell's acting at certain points.
Can you imagine those two?
I mean, I get it. Like, he's supposed to be, you know, like, annoyed, and I don't think he had to act much. I think he like,
didn't. He was
felt
just
annoyed. Yeah, so he's just the typical, like, I'm a dad who only cares about work, but I'm also, like, I care about money more than people, and so I'm, like, taking books away from the nuns, and, like, go team. Whatever.
Your father is on the naughty list.
No!
No!
So funny. Oh, and yeah, their first meeting doesn't go well, and Buddy makes up a song on the spot, which I was like, I applaud you, sir, because that's fun to do, so...
Well, he thought he was a singing telegram.
He did.
Unlike Clue. Hi.
Oh, thank God.
You're singing telegram. Bam!
Bam! Oh, it's a great fucking movie.
I gotta say, how much would you pay to have a Buddy the Elf singing telegram to your friends? Because if someone
$20
who looks like Will Ferrell...
Oh, if it looks like Will Ferrell? I'd do more. I would
like
do more
look-alike? What did you just... I'd be like, here's all my money. Go.
Oh, I said $20.
Go show up to, I don't know, anyone I know's work. Thank you.
I mean, the real kicker would be if we sent a Buddy singing telegram to our brother at his job.
Oh,
God,
man.
it would be something. But
okay.
the dad is like, I don't fucking know who you are, and he name drops Mom's name. Susan Wells had me. You know, I'm Buddy. Blah blah blah. And then he immediately gets thrown out. And one of the guys who throws him out was played by his older brother. Like, just I don't know.
That.
I don't even think his older brother's an actor. I feel like it was just like a random, like, hey, your brother won't do this? And he's like, sure. It's like, what?
I never knew that.
Yeah, he's like the taller of the security guards is his brother.
Oh, fun fact.
But they say, why don't you go back to Gimbel's? And this is where we get knockoff Macy's. La la la, because we couldn't pay for Macy's, yeah.
It is so funny.
It's
this whole thing where he just goes up to the elves and he's like, guys, hi!
It's like, Santa!
This is awesome! And then he finds out Santa's coming and he flips out that Santa's coming, and this is being run by Faison Love. Who is this guy?
He's like a comedian.
He is a comedian, but I feel like he's been in so many things and he's so funny. He's been in like Couples Retreat.
Yeah.
Kind of like all these like random movies. But oh god, I just feel like he's so funny.
That role was supposed to be played by Wanda Sykes, and she had to last minute drop out, not like because she wanted to.
Wanda Sykes would have been perfect too.
But, fun fact, that guy wears a name tag that says Wanda the whole time, which I fucking love, because it's just like,
that is
so random.
I like when you do the fun facts. These are fun.
Only because I watch them, yes. You know, I also want to take a moment and do a little PSA, guys, because even though I've seen this movie many times, I guess maybe because I'm taking notes, like, while watching this, the part where he is at the escalator for the first time.
We've all been there.
Do you know where I'm going with this? Because I feel like I don't even know if you know this.
I don't.
So he's like afraid of it because you're like, what? Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, whatever. And then eventually he gets on, he's kind of doing a weird split and he goes up and he's fine. I had kind of a flashback when I was probably like 9 or 10, and it was like holiday time at a mall with one of our old neighbors that I was really good friends with. I was with them. Going up an escalator, my shoelaces got stuck in the escalator. And I was like crying and I couldn't get my shoe out, and it was really scary. I don't know why I thought of that when I watched it this time, but I was like, buddy, I get it. Like, you gotta be careful on those.
Kate, what? Did you just take your shoe off?
I think one of the workers like stopped the escalator, and then we had to like wiggle my shoelace out or something.
That's a horror film.
I know it is. So don't knock Buddy for being scared, because it can get dangerous.
And he keeps telling people, he's like, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Like, you go.
You go. You guys can go. You can go ahead, me.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Anywho, yep, that's my trauma. But hey, we meet Zooey Deschanel up at Santa's workshop.
Who's a blonde and I can't. It's so weird seeing her as a blonde. It's
weird.
It's weird. She's just washed out. As Katie mentioned, she needed toner. It was just weird. I liked her character, but I feel like she kind of was like, insert female, no personality, right?
Or like,
she's like, I'm afraid to sing, kind of. I'm an elf.
Oh.
I live in a New York City apartment. I don't know, right? Like,
yeah, that girl had more than one room in New York City. So, like, what? How do you afford that? Let me know.
Yeah, as a Macy's Day elf, not happening.
She got a shower at the locker room? No way.
What? I don't understand.
There's no fucking way.
Yep.
Yeah, and she kind of at first is like, haha, this guy Buddy's weird. But anyway, moving on. And Buddy stays in there overnight and just basically makes billions of paper snowflakes and
oh my god,
I don't like a bunch of crazy shit. He makes it look really cool.
It was so seamless, the transition from I've worked at a factory for 30 years in my elf, Santa's elf factory where indentured servants, and now I'm able to take those skills into Macy's and having the manager come in, Wanda, as you say, come in and be like, wait a second, they sent in corporate. What's happening? Someone's trying to mess with us.
This is how I imagine all corporate life is. Someone does a good job and you don't get praise for it. You just get suspicious. That's how I imagine it is.
It's so good. It's so good.
So ridiculous. But we get Santa! I know him.
I know him. Oh my god.
Oh god, but Bridget's not the real Santa.
It's. Do you know who it is? It's Artie Lang.
Who the fuck is that? Should I know him?
He's been on Howard Stern. You know Artie Lang.
Oh,
saw a picture of him.
Not Howard Stern.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he smells like beef and cheese, so that's all I know about him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and him and Buddy get in a fist fight, which, I don't mind. One time in a movie, sure.
It was fair. I mean, he was like, no, you're not. I mean, here's the thing with Buddy's character. He was innocent, but he was confident in his answers.
Yes.
He never would question whether he knew something. So that was the part that he got in trouble. Whenever he's like, but that's not true. Or like,
yeah, very like literal in a sense.
Yes.
But it was from being naive, You don't know what you don't know type thing.
Yeah.
He goes to jail. Okay, now we're at jail. Children's movie, we're in jail. And his one phone call is to his dad, and his dad, for some reason, agrees. Do we think our brother would have gone?
I can't believe you're driving the brother plot.
I'm sorry.
I it's me.
I just, Jimmy the Dream, I think it's just the name connection. I'm like, yeah, that works.
I don't know. But coming back and being like, you're my dad, and James Caan being like, no, go away, you're crazy. It was kind of, it was fun to get distracted with Macy's and decorating, and then kind of him trying it again and being like, this is for my dad, and him just always trying to figure out, like, how do I get back to my dad? Like, that's why I'm here. Like, I'm never gonna stop, I
do love how then the dad is like, let's get a fucking paternity test. And I was like, damn, do I wish this was like on Maury or like, could you imagine a Maury episode with like Buddy the Elf, like, that's my dad and Susan Wells and then the Santa, and Maury's like, what the F? Oh, audience, we gotta take a break.
You are the father.
You are the father.
Which, by the way, Jon Favreau says.
Yes. Yep, he plays the doctor, and he's like, yep, that's your son. And then he goes, he's probably just reverting to a state of childlike dependence. So, I don't know, I just made up words in that sentence, but I'm a doctor, so listen, and bring that bitch home. And that's exactly what happens.
What do you do when you did it? Now, you gotta give James Caan credit. He didn't actually know that Susan Wells had a baby.
That's true, he did not.
So, if some elf-looking 30-year-old shows up and is like, Katie, you're my mom. Well, it doesn't work the same for a man. Actually, you would know if you gave a baby. If you're a man, right, and you're like, hey, you're my dad, you'd be like, uh-huh, whatever. So, when he realizes he is the dad, he's like, oh, shit. Do you want to, like, live with me? It's like, what do I do? And I felt like the movie did that fairly realistic. He's like, okay, do you live with me? Like, he was just like, I don't know what do I do with this.
I do love, too, too, how the wife is, like, the most supportive ever. Like, she's like, this is exciting. Like, she's like, it's, like, complicated, but, like, how exciting, you know? And I was like, thank you for not giving, like, bullshit relationship drama. Thank you, because I can't.
Want to meet her in real life, because every character she plays is a peach. She has to be a peach. She has to.
I love her.
But he's also got a brother who is like, what? I was an only child. What's happening?
His life's about to get rough, I'll tell you that. Let me tell you.
Michael. How old is Michael? Like 10?
I feel like 10, 11, 12 range, yeah.
All right.
He's alone a lot, so,
Yeah.
you know, he's got to be a little bit older to kind of just wander the streets of New York with no supervision.
Uh-huh.
Michael is a big Jets fan. We do love to see it. Thank you, good night. Okay. But Michael is not into Buddy.
Not loving it.
Not feeling it. He's like,
Yeah.
this guy's fucking weird.
Uh-huh.
And he's not wrong.
He's weird. If this person showed up and was like, hey, I'm your brother, I'd be like, you're an elf. I'm confused. What's happening?
This person pours syrup all over their spaghetti. All the Italians would be like, blasphemy! Get him out! Like, I can't. And so we just see, you know, Buddy being Buddy. And he's like, Dad, let's have a tickle fight. And like, tuck me in. But Buddy makes breakfast for them the next morning, which I
So
love.
cute.
He made them spaghetti.
And he puts spaghetti in a bag.
It's
That's
so
how you
thoughtful.
should eat spaghetti.
That's such
Who
a
does
thoughtful thing.
I mean, how are you supposed to carry spaghetti? It's perfect. It's to go.
I put spaghetti in bags. Yeah.
Why not?
He also made a rocking horse, and I'm like, I think we used to have that rocking horse. So
She was like,
that's
you
cool.
made that? It's like, yeah.
It's so real. But basically, I don't know. The plot now is like the dad at his job is getting shit because he basically approved a book that didn't have an ending. And so now his boss is like, you gotta fucking write a new book and it's gotta be done in like 2 days and we're meeting on Christmas Eve and like that's your bullshit now. And then Buddy's bullshit is Michael doesn't like him and so he keeps following Michael around. But then they get to bond because they're in Central Park and there's a snowball fight!
Snowball fight! Do you know this was like the only CGI? That all that snow was like
Well,
fake.
that does make sense.
Okay.
So
It was a little
yes.
cheesy. But
I loved it.
I mean, this is how I want to throw snowballs at people. Just this, like, your hand just like fling, fling.
Could you imagine?
Incredible.
I mean, it'd be so fun.
Incredible.
And then now Michael's like, you've earned my respect. So now let's go hang out at knockoff Macy's. Let's fucking do it. And I was like, is that the next step? Or, okay, sure.
You never know, you never know.
Michael gives the real talk. He's like, buddy, I just want to let you know our dad sucks.
Aww.
And, get over it. And also, you should go date that lady. And I'm 10. So that's how you go date someone.
You always need a wise, kind
a wise 10-year-old.
A wise, Gandalf to show you the way. And
wow,
it's Michael.
yeah. Who's a Jets fan. So,
I mean,
what a combo.
He understands tragedy.
But I didn't realize this either because, again, this movie seen so many times and I'm like, yeah, I know the scenes. But there is good connections between some of these scenes. So they get a Christmas tree, which was really a tree that Buddy cut down from Central Park.
I love that.
Which I do. It's so funny.
I mean, he's like, wait, why couldn't I? It's like,
yeah.
Why wouldn't I? Yeah.
So you're just kind of like, okay, that's a silly scene, but it has plot purpose, Bridge.
Yeah.
Because this is when the parents are like, we can't leave him home alone. A la Home Alone, someone might die. We gotta bring him to work. He's going to work with you, Walter. And this is where Buddy goes to the mail room.
And he
God.
meets someone that's like, oh man, I got this I got this extra sugar or something. He's like, I love sugar, and he takes his liquor and then gets wasted.
Do you know how old that guy is in the movie?
No.
He says, Buddy, I'm only 26 years old. I screamed. 26!
He looks
Get the
50.
fuck out. He looks 80. Come on. What the actual fuck is happening?
Oh my god. And then all of a sudden Will Ferrell's like doing I don't even know, kind of dancing in the mailroom and they're losing it.
Whoop, there it is! Whoop, there it is! Amazing.
And then, oh my God, Peter Dinklage shows up as Mile Finch, and it's just when Will is drunk and, right? Was he still drunk?
Well, Will's not drunk when Peter Dinklage
different.
comes. Will interrupts the dad's phone call with Peter Dinklage.
Okay. That's right.
The very next scene after the mailroom is when Buddy goes on his date. I was like, damn, okay, that was quick, but sure. Like, you know what? It's better to set the dates up quick, okay? Get it fucking over with. Feel the vibes.
This is pre-Tinder.
Get your free meal, your free world's best cup of coffee. Yep.
I really can't stay.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that scene.
The canceled song that, I gotta say, the one thing I'm not admitting that doesn't age well is Will Ferrell's a creep.
Yeah.
Buddy the Elf is kind of a creep.
Yes.
Even though he's innocent, he's in a shower with her and she screams. He's always like stalking her. It's just, he's a lot.
Well, I'm kind of like in elf land. I don't think it's appropriate for you to do any of these things in elf land either. Exactly. So I don't think you can use the I'm an elf, excuse.
No, he's just a lot. He's a lot. Yeah.
Well, it's fine because Zoe likes him now because he's full of cheer, I guess.
I don't know. Whatever.
Who fucking cares?
She needs toner.
Yes, but Peter Dinklage comes now, Bridge. We love to see him. He is a world famous writer of children's books.
He's got the best idea in this notebook that you've ever seen, and it's about an asparagus.
That's what the one guy, he's like, all these child asparaguses, but they're insecure about their pee. So fucking stupid. Honestly, though, I've read so many children's books that I'm kind of like, wait, who the fuck thought of this?
I know.
It kind of is a genre where I feel like you can write about any fucking thing, and as long as it's wholesome and about kids being nice, then you're gonna be a hit, you know?
Yeah, but this is like not nice to little people, and where Will Ferrell is calling him an elf, and then he's like, I'm this big fancy person, who do you think you are? And everyone's freaking out because they need this guy to come in and help and save them, and he then just starts beating Buddy up.
Yep.
Which, I mean, he deserved it.
He did deserve it. And Buddy walks in the room saying, I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it. That's another great line.
That is a great line. I hope we all use that.
Yeah. But then Buddy's dad yells at him and says, I don't care that you're my son. Get the hell out of my life.
Oof.
And you're like, wham.
It escalated, and then he wrote a note saying, I'm sorry I ruined your lives and crammed 11 cookies into the VCR.
It's so good.
And then that's when Michael's like, oh no, Buddy ran away. Dad, enough of this awful job you have. Buddy ran away. And then it's this kind of big moment of, do you choose work or family? And he quits the job on the spot because why the frig are you working Christmas Eve anyway?
Union. Okay. Just, I don't know if that's a thing in corporate. It's not a thing. All right, never mind. Forget it.
He picks helping Buddy. He's like, you know what, you're right, son, and let's go get Buddy. And Buddy just so happens to be on a bridge. I didn't like it, Kate. I didn't know what he was doing on a bridge.
Oh, no.
Well, Buddy was just hanging out on a bridge, and I was like, what's happening? But then in the distance, he sees Santa's sleigh, because it's Christmas Eve, basically breaking down and fall into Central Park. That's not how New York location
definitely not
work, but
definitely not.
But here we are, and then he just takes 10 feet and ends up in Central Park and meets up with Santa, which, by the way, we've never actually called this out. Santa is played by Ed Asner.
Oh yeah, he's also very famous.
Super iconic, but
he's a good Santa. He's kind of like a Tootsie Straight Santa.
He's a perfect Santa. I've seen some
shit Santa, you know?
Yeah, I like him. So
he's like, friggin' the motor or the engine broke down, and the Buddy's like, hey Santa, I'm here. And he's like, oh Buddy, thank God you're here because I need an elf's help. And Buddy goes, I'm not elf Santa. And Santa goes, Buddy, you're more of an elf than anyone I've ever met. That was a great line. I'm not going to say if I got emotional, but you can make guesses. And then, Bridge, because nobody gets a day off in this damn city, some fucking poor local newswoman is sent to the streets to interview random people instead of enjoying her holiday with her family.
God. New
to
York
be like,
One reporter.
did you see
On the scene.
Santa? Somebody said they saw Santa. Let's interview children. Oh my God. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And everybody's watching the news channel. Like, it's the most popular news channel in the world. What?
No one has parties. No one's hanging out with family. They're all on this channel. Michael is with his dad running to Central Park. They all know where to go. I don't know what's happening.
Oh yeah, how did they know where to go? Because the news channel was like, there appears to be a strange man dressed as an elf.
Yeah, that's right.
Central Park, and he does like the Sasquatch like freeze frame. Oh my fucking God. Amazing.
So he saves Santa's sleigh. And so the kind of villain in this film was the dad, James Caan, for most of it. And then he flipped. And then the villains become the New
Central
York City
Park Rangers?
police rangers.
Are those people? Are
and
those
horses?
real things?
What? I mean, they are, but I've never heard of them being, like, mean. But I don't know. Kate, what do I not know? I don't know.
Yeah, like, who had beef with the Central Park Rangers?
And why are you trying to, like, F with Santa? Like, what? Who cares?
Yeah, that was weird. Michael also meets Santa, and he's like, whoa, Christmas cheer makes the sleigh fly. Give me your fucking book of all the kids' lists. Now it's mine. Good luck delivering your shit. I gotta go. And I'm gonna go put it on the news.
Listen, he is corporate potential. I mean, he took that and he marketed and really got Christmas cheer going. He
literally
happen.
elbowed his way right up to the fucking news channel and was like, bitch, let me tell you what you want for Christmas.
You want your fiancé to get off his butt and propose already.
Damn.
Ooh.
Charlotte Denon, News One. Damn.
Ouch.
It does raise Christmas spirit, though.
It does.
A little, but not a lot. Not enough.
It does, and then we all sing because Zooey Deschanel's only personality trait is I'm afraid to sing in public, but with Buddy's guidance and support, I can now do it. And then everyone else sings, and then they all have Christmas cheer.
Yes. I do feel like she could have, like, just already standing in the crowd, even, like, if she bent down, could just start, like, singing. Like, but she made it a spectacle. She's like, I'm going to stand up on this thing, and you're going to look at the Zooey Deschanel show for a little bit, and then I'm going to watch you and make sure you guys sing.
If she had dyed hair, it would have been better at this moment if she just dyed it right before. I'm kidding. But you just kind of feel like, like this, I understand. They're like, okay, Will Ferrell can't do the whole movie. Like, we have to have some sort of plot, but I was like, all right. Can we just see him being funny? Like, I like the first half of the movie more than the back half, but I understood why it had to be there.
All right, I have one more reference on
Let's
why
do it.
our brother might be Walter Hobbs, because in this ending, Walter is with his family, and they all start singing, and he's pretending to sing, and he's just mouthing the words, and then the son, Michael, is like, you're not actually singing, Dad, you're just moving your lips. You have to actually sing. And then finally, when Walter starts to sing, the sleigh flies, Christmas cheer. But I did think to some home videos we have of our older brother Jimmy clearly not singing in chorus concerts, mouthing words in the back row. So,
and you know that Jenny would have like kicked him and be like, Dad, sing!
You're not singing, Dad! So good. And then Buddy flies off into space, or we're North Pole or whatever, and then right after, Papa Elf's like, I'm here too now. Back to me narrating. Don't worry, Buddy's life is great. Now he's married, I guess, and there is a baby. Wow. And also, we wrote a book about Elf because capitalism, and we gotta monetize shit. So here we go. And I was like, okay.
I mean, they wrapped it up nice.
Yeah, they did.
With a bow.
Oh my God. Do you know what the baby's name was?
No.
Susie. Because Buddy's mom was Susan.
Oh, I didn't put that together. That's a great trivia question.
That's fucking cute. Little
Susie. That's
I
cute.
know. So good.
If I'm going to give this up to anyone, it's Will Ferrell. You killed it. Smashed this role.
And one of the things that they said also in the episode, which they all, like, everybody, like, praised Will Ferrell for this. They were like, there was a point before the movie came out where the studio, like, took it away from Jon Favreau. Everything had been filmed, but they took away the editing from Jon Favreau because the studio was trying to turn it into, like, an old school type movie.
Oh,
but
my
they weren't going to
God.
refilm anything, so they were just trying to see if they could cut and edit it to come off like that. And they literally couldn't because of how wholesome Will Ferrell's performance was. Like, no matter what they did, it still came off, like, very family friendly. And so they were like, never mind, and gave it back to Jon Favreau. And then, yeah. So thank God.
Wow, that would have ruined it. That was my
it would have
favorite part.
ruined it. Right. What do you think, Bridge? Watch or don't watch?
I think watch it, but I just think the first half's better. Watch it or don't watch it, Kate.
I say watch it, get your hot cocoa,
Oh,
and other shit, and it's great for Christmas. Merry Chrysler.
get in the Christmas cheer. Kate, it's my turn to pick a movie.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
So there's two options for you. There's an iconic... First of all, I found a website where I was Googling nostalgic Christmas movies for millennials. No joke.
Oh, wow.
We have done every single one.
I feel like there's one I can think of we haven't done.
Well, I think I might have picked this one. We haven't.
Okay.
But it was not on this list. The list, I was like, we've done every one. And we don't just cater to millennials, but as millennials, obviously, we have a bias. So I could go with the iconic one, and then we could do that. Or I could go with a super random, you would never know this, and it's out of nowhere, but it is Christmas themed, and what mood are you in? The other one's like action, crazy, whatever. What do you want? What are you in the mood for?
I think I want classic.
Okay!
Sorry.
This is from 2000.
Not sorry.
Okay.
Mm.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
I have an idea, but let me hear things.
American Christmas fantasy comedy film directed by Ron Howard.
Yeah, baby!
Starring
That
Jim
was it.
Carrey. This is How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Where are you, Christmas?
Why
But now we
can't
can
I find you?
Now we can talk about Martha May Whovier.
Oh,
Betty!
Iconic
Hi.
character. I will hold the other one for possibly January. All right, there we are, folks.
Oh my god. Another iconic... This one, Grinch might not be as wholesome as
But I
Elf.
mean... I know it's by no means as wholesome, but like
yeah, it's a little more edgy.
It's in the like Christmas spirit. It's in the like I don't know. It'll be intriguing to watch it again after so many years. You know?
I do watch this movie, I think, every year too. If not every year, like every other at least.
Boom.
So you haven't watched this in a while?
No.
Oh wow.
I
feel like I remember seeing that movie in theaters too, and I got really emotional at one part. I'm probably gonna be emotional again because I cry all the time.
This one is emotional. I don't.
Yes.
Like Elf was like, you know.
Yeah. There's some sad shit in The Grinch. Okay.
Am I just eating because I'm bored?
Bored.
I ask myself that all the time. Okay, Jim Carrey.
Well,
here we go. Well, Kate. What's your favorite color? It's Buddy the Elf.
Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?
Did your brain get broken?
It's a little tough because, like, we're related, so I can't be like, if you want to go find your dad, because that's, like, our dad. Like, we know where he is. He's, like, in his one chair. Like, we know where he is.
He really is.
So I won't say that. But how about if you wanted to run around the streets of New York and film random scenes for our movie
Yes.
and not have any actors or script anything and we just like run rampant, I would probably let you like pick the spots because you lived in New York and you like know the spots.
Perfect.
But I would go in the Lincoln Tunnel if you told me to, and I'll film it if if we gotta, because that's authentic. So it's for you because I love you.
Kate,
And I trust your geography knowledge. Yes.
I don't know how to incorporate a union, but I just know you want one. And,
all the time.
For Christmas books, I'll create a Christmas book author union just for you so that people can spend time with their family on Christmas Eve instead of working?
Seriously, let Charlotte Denon go home, okay? Nobody needs to know what's happening on the streets of New York Christmas Eve, please. My God.
Wow.
It's absurd. Wow.
Woo.
And listeners, if you also think that people gotta stop fucking working, just don't work as much,
Let's all stop working.
Everybody quit. Let's have International Quit Day. And if you think that just the best part of this movie really was the macaroni song part, especially knowing the background of that. And if you think that Jimmy the Dream, James Caan, is our brother, they are the same.
Oh my God.
In some ways.
So good.
You should write us a review. We love reviews. You should love reviews, but we love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. We are getting out of the holiday season, but it's like still cold. It's cold. Winter movies, snow movies,
okay, yeah,
other shit.
Yeah, give it to us.
I don't know.
We'll pick it.
Put those on there. They go on a list. We go through the list, and we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee or hot chocolate because we're cold.
Yeah.
That is money.
Yeah.
It would warm us up.
Yeah.
And there's merchandise.
Mm.
It's the holiday season. Ask yourself, what would Buddy the Elf do? Okay? They would buy their friends all the Sisters Who've Seen It stuff.
That's correct.
Right?
That's fact.
So, what are you doing?
Facts, you know?
Get on it. Get on it.
Yes. So check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for, I feel like the full title is Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Or maybe it's Ron Howard's I don't know. It's the one with Jim Carrey, you guys. And the scary prosthetic noses.
He could do the actual smile, like with his mouth. How does he do that?
I don't know.
He was born to play this role.
Scary.
I don't know how he does it. Incredible. See you there, folks.
See you there. Bye-bye.
Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.